Yo, what's up guys, it's Hycross, and in this video, I'll be going through an in-depth tutorial on how to get stretch res. This will be the most updated version, and I'll be showcasing one of the most popular resolutions that is sure to give a huge performance boost. With that said, let's get right into the tutorial. Alright boys, so in this tutorial, we will be using the CRU method, also known as display scaling, in which we will be using the custom resolution utility to make our monitor stretch with the least delay possible. The very first thing we'll be doing is heading into our Fortnite game properties. You want to be on your desktop here. You want to navigate down to the bottom left and type %temp% and hit enter. Once this comes up, I'll maximize this for you guys. Once this comes up, you're going to select local right here and hit F on your keyboard and double-click Fortnite game, double-click saved, double-click config, and double-click Windows client. All right, once game user settings come up, I want you to click it once and then right-click it and go into properties. This is very important. Make sure this little read-only box is unchecked. That is very important. Make sure you hit apply if it wasn't and then hit OK. So make sure it's unchecked. Then I want you to double-click onto game user settings. I'll maximize this for you guys. And what we're going to do is scroll down into our user settings until we find our resolution size. This is very, very important. So since we will be tweaking our resolution in this video, you want to make sure that the base resolution, what you want in here, is native. So I already have it on native, but if you guys were using past stretch resolutions, make sure you just revert that back to 1920 by 1080. So for resolution size X, make sure that's 1920, and resolution size Y, make sure that's 1080. Do that for these two, do that for these two, and then scroll down a little bit, and then you should do it to these two and these two. Make sure they're both 1920 by 1080. We want them native for now. And then what you guys are going to do after that is go up to the top left, hit File, and then Save. And then you guys are all set with our first step. Then you're just going to hit the X, and we are ready for step 2. All right, boys, so for our second step, you want to be on your main desktop. You want to right-click and head into our Nvidia control panel. Wait for it to come up. And once we are in our Nvidia control panel, make sure you have your 1920 by 1080 selected. This is whatever res you're currently using. It should be native at this point. And just make sure to click customize. And if you see any possible reses that you guys have created up here, make sure to hit the little red X and delete those. For me, I don't have any customized reses, so there's nothing to delete, but make sure there are no customized reses that there's going to be like a little check mark right here. Just hit the little X and hit delete for that. And then the other thing that you're going to do on this screen is make sure this enable resolution is not exposed by the display. Make sure that is unchecked. That is very important. Just uncheck that little box and hit OK. The next thing we're going to do is head into adjust desktop size and position. All right, we're going to go to that. And over here where it says aspect ratio is bubbled in, you want to make sure that no scaling is bubbled in. Come down to the right bottom here and hit apply. And we're going to hit yes. All right, so we don't want any scaling there. And another very, very important part to this is for the perform scaling on, you want to make sure that this is set to display. If you don't see this come up and you only see GPU, then you cannot do this tutorial. That is very, very important. If you guys try doing this with GPU, it will not work, so make sure this says display. If this doesn't say display, that your monitor is either really old or you're on a laptop or you might not have a HDMI cable plugged in. So I would check all those three things to make sure there's no possibility that you could have display scaling. But yeah, this is a display scaling tutorial, so make sure you have display scaling on. And make sure you hit apply for everything there, and we are all set for our step 3 with CRU. All right, boys, so now it is finally time to go into our CRU application. I will have the CRU link down below in the description. It should be at the very top. All you guys are going to have to do is hit that link, download the CRU, and then extract all the files into a folder. And after I extracted everything, I just dragged it out on my desktop, and that's why you see the CRU 1.5.1. That is the newest version that they have. Make sure if you're downloading it, make sure you download the very newest version, which is 1.5.1. All right, so what you guys are going to do, you're going to double-click this CRU, and then once this screen pops up, all you guys are going to do is double-click CRU at the top there, and you're going to hit run. And then hit yes if that box comes up. All right, so we're going to minimize that. And yeah, this is basically the custom resolution utility. So it's just this little box, and I'm just going to take you guys through one by one throughout all the steps. There's around like 10 or 11 steps to follow. I wrote everything down to make sure I do this perfectly. And what I recommend doing is watch this video all the way through, or especially this part all the way through. This is very, very important. Do not mess up any of these steps, or else you guys are going to run into problems, and then that'll just lead you to one bad thing to another. So make sure to follow each and every one of your steps. So the very first thing we're going to do is at the top here, you can hit this little drop down and you guys can see what monitors you have as options. So these are all monitors that I have had in the past. I only have 2 there. But obviously there's only 1 active because I only have 1 monitor plugged in right now. But if you guys have 2 or 3 or even more monitors plugged in, make sure you know exactly what monitor you have and are using as your main monitor, because that is the one we're going to be tweaking and stretching. So make sure you know exactly what monitor you want to stretch. So select that monitor. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to extension blocks. All right, so we're going to click on the extension block down below and we are going to hit edit. Next up, we're going to find the detailed resolution with the highest hertz for 1920 by 1080. So I'm looking at all my native reses and I can see that the highest hertz right here is the 239.760 hertz. Completely ignore this 1280 by 1024. That's just a weird one. So yeah, make sure you have this selected. And what we're going to do is hit edit again. And we're going to hit copy at the top right there. This is going to copy all this information, and I'll show you guys what you're going to use with that later on in this custom resolution utility. So what we're going to do is hit OK just once. So just hit OK, and then stay on the screen. From here, you're going to select the very top one, and then we're going to hit delete for each and every one, even the detailed resolution that we just copied from. So we're going to hit delete, 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 delete. All right. After those are all deleted, make sure you guys hit OK, and then you guys are good there. On the left side here for established resolutions, we don't want any of these, so hit none. And then on the extension blocks right here, another one actually came up here, so make sure you hit delete all for that. We don't want any extension blocks. For standard resolutions, this is very important. There's a bunch listed here. Some of you guys might have none listed here, but some of you guys might have some listed. Simply just hit delete all for that right there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit add under our standard resolutions. All right. And in this drop down menu, we are going to scroll down until we find 1920 by 1080. You should see in parentheses 16 and then the colon 9. And make sure you leave your refresh rate at 60 hertz. All right. There's no need to change that. Then just hit OK for that. Next up in our detailed resolutions there, we are going to hit delete under detailed resolutions. So make sure you guys delete all for the detailed resolutions there. And what we're going to do is simply hit add. And from here, we are going to paste. We're going to hit paste right there. And basically that's going to paste that information that we copied from our extension blocks down below. So we just pasted all the settings in there. All right, boys, and from here, what you guys are going to do is you're going to delete the 1920, and we're going to replace it with our new desired res. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be doing 1720 by 1080, all right? This is the Peterbot res. He is arguably the best W here in Fortnite right now, and arguably one of the best players to ever play the game. And he does use this res currently, and he's very, very good on it, so I strongly recommend this res. So 1720 by 1080, we can just leave that vertical, but make sure to change the horizontal and hit OK. And with our new desired res, what you guys are going to do, make sure it looks exactly like this, all right? Make sure your CRU looks exactly like mine. Make sure there's nothing checked there. There's things here, no extension blocks, and what you guys are going to do is just hit OK. And from here, you guys are just going to want to open that folder again, open that CRU folder, and you guys are going to want to do restart 64, all right? So I'm going to double click restart 64, and before I run this, because this is going to cut my video, I'm going to stop my video, run it, and then I will see you guys after running restart 64. All right, boys, so I just restarted. I just used restart 64, and this is exactly what I see. This restart 1.5 little box should come up. Just hit exit when you see that, and you can close out of our folder there. So what you guys are going to do is right click on your desktop, go into display settings. We're going to scroll down a little bit go into advanced display settings, and you want to make sure that under choose display, you want to choose the monitor that you've been stretching this whole time. So I'm using my regular Zowie monitor, and you want to go down here and you want to select display adapter properties for display 1. It might say display 2 or 3, but you can just select that. And once you're in here, hit list all modes. And from here, we are going to look for our desired res. So our new desired res that we created was 1720 by 1080 and 240 hertz. So I just scrolled down and I see that right there. I'm just going to select it once. We're going to hit OK, and we're going to hit apply. And hopefully this should work. We're going to hit keep changes. We're going to hit OK, and we can exit out of there. And it looks like it worked perfectly. I am officially on stretched res. It's 240 hertz. And everything feels great. I'll definitely add some gameplay at the end. But yeah, if you made sure to follow each and every step in this video, you should be at your new resolution. I hope this video was of use for you guys, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like and leave a comment. With that said, enjoy the gameplay, and I will see you all in the next one.